My very first video on this channel was a theory and breakdown for FX's Four Walls. It was FX's first comeback as a group without Sulli. In that video I did, there is just a brief mention of Sulli as she may have pertained to a certain scene, and that's it. If you noticed, ever since then, I really haven't talked about Sulli at all. And there's a reason for that. Because ever since she left FX, and even before she left, all we've ever heard about Sulli, everything you saw come out regarding her name, had something to do with people criticizing her career, her relationship, pictures she took on her own social media, what she was wearing, what she wasn't wearing. And all of this to me never made any sense. That's why I never brought any of it up. Why were these things being portrayed as such negative attributes, and why were they being pointed out at all? I didn't want to participate in that. To me, she seemed like she was just being herself, trying to express herself, maybe find herself. She was growing up. Remember, Sulli started her career at a super young age as a child actress. And as she transitioned to being an idol as a teenager, it seemed like people expected her to be that innocent child or teenager for the rest of her life. But on the other side of that coin, it's also sad that there are a lot of young and new K-pop fans today, those who never got a chance to see FX as an active group on music shows, on variety shows. They never saw Sulli in that environment or any other environment. It's disheartening because the only exposure they have of her were all these articles about the criticism she received for her mundane, just everything. Now, everywhere her passing is being reported, if you look down in the comments and responses, the discourse surrounding this is about how all the harassment she received online contributed to this, or is even the very thing that is responsible. We also have to remember a few things. We don't know everything going on in her personal life. We don't know what else could have possibly pushed her to make such decisions. It could be a combination of everything, including issues in her professional life, her relationships. I think if you're an entertainment company, you need not only to start looking at your practices, making sure that it's not pushing people past a certain point, but also what you're doing to maintain the mental health of your artist, of all the employees. These things may very well be the basis of her emotional state, but there's a reason that everyone is talking about how the public affected her mental health. Because it was so prevalent. Search up her name before the last 24 hours and count how many positive things you see attached to her name. Even if it wasn't the leading factor, it's hard to believe that the hate comments didn't chip away at her happiness and fuel these negative emotions and thoughts already brewing inside of her. Despite her strong image, despite her standing up for herself and trying to unapologetically be herself, she wasn't shy about her feelings. She wasn't shy about sharing her thoughts. People are now looking for anything she may have left behind that could have hinted at what she was going through. But it seems like she was always trying to tell us that these things were affecting her. That she never understood why she was getting all this resentment, and some of her last words to the public reflected that. I never understood it either. She was in no way a bad person. Just a few weeks ago, she stood up for her fellow artists, her fellow colleague, because they were being called an attention seeker. Something she was called many times. People couldn't just leave her alone. Look, if someone ever posts something you don't like or agree with, and it's not harming anyone in any way, just remove yourself from it. Don't look at it. Don't follow them. Don't wait for them to post just to leave a venomous comment, because it can ultimately lead to people making the decision she made. And for anyone out there who's thinking of doing anything remotely similar, it's not the answer. It's not the answer. It's not the answer. It doesn't erase the pain. It just passes it on to the people who truly cared about you. It's not the answer. If you need help, there is always someone to talk to, I promise. What I hope people take away from Sulli and celebrate is her strength and fearlessness of being herself. The only thing we can hope for now is that her friends and family have the strength to cope with this, and that Sulli is now at peace up there.